Bill and Ted for a little while. So some of you guys know this, some of you guys might not, but Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventure is one of my favorite movies ever. And if you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie. If you love it, you're wrong. Or if you don't love it, you're wrong. Oh boy. If you love it, I love you. No, it's very niche. It's very specific in who it entertains and things like that. But I'm going to tell you why I love this movie and why you should too. Bill and Ted is a cheesy movie that shouldn't be good but is good. It is about two teenagers they're going through high school and they're about to fail their history class. And all they need to do is make a presentation and pass it. If they do that, then they're good. But if not, then Ted's going to military school and Bill loses his friend. So they're trying their hardest to fucking pass this history presentation. And they're not the smartest fellas in the world. Oh, let's be honest. They want to focus on their music careers and their band Wild Stallions, and they can't play music or instruments either. And then a guy from the future comes back with a time machine because Bill and Ted being together will bring peace and balance to the future through their music. And he comes back with a time booth or a phone booth that can time travel. And they literally just go from point to point in history, learning about it in a way and recruiting historical figures to pretty much do this presentation for them. And it's the stupidest thing ever, but it's so funny and great, and I love it. Like, just the sheer stupidity that these two characters have during certain scenes, and their attitude. Like, their attitude is the best. It's positive. It's like about friendship and, be excellent to one another, and like there's no judgment and things like that. And all they're trying to do is just play some music. They're just going around and they're spreading their positivity throughout all these through these historical figures. Like they get Socrates, they get Billy the Kid, they get Socrates, sorry. They get Abraham Lincoln, they get fucking Attila the Hun, they get Joan of Arc, they get Napoleon from Bonaparte, they get Sigmund Freud, Beethoven. Probably missing one or two. No, that actually might be all of them. But like, just their interaction with all of them and stuff like that, and like they bring them to their city, and they're like showing them that, and of course the guys all get into hijinks and shit like that, and they have to go like save them and stuff. But it's just like that tale of like the underdog conquering and stuff like that, and it's just silly, and I highly recommend everybody sees it. If you don't, it was on Netflix for a while, but I don't think it's on there. It probably is on Amazon Video. So if you have Amazon Prime, rent that shit or buy it, Now, there is a sequel to this movie, and I'll admit it, for the longest time I shit on the sequel. I was like, this is trash. Nobody likes this movie. It sucks. Going back and watching it a couple years ago, it's actually not that bad, and it's quite good. Is it the cult classic that I love about the first one? No, absolutely not, but it's still dang good. So in the second one, there's a guy from the future who is trying to like take over and stuff like that. And once again, Bill and Ted need to save the future and stuff like that. And by winning a battle of the bands or something, I believe. And this guy goes back in time to try and disrupt that. Well, what he does is he makes robot versions of Bill and Ted, and he sends the robot versions back in time to kill them. And they succeed in killing them. And the guys go to hell for whatever reason. And they have to fucking like, they win the devil over. They got to fight their fears. They fight robot themselves. They get an alien out of nowhere and recruit them to the army. and like they make robot versions of themselves to fight the robot evil clones, and it's like this fucking weird mix up that like I thought was shitty, but it's not. Like just the like amount of lines you can pull from that and jokes and things like that, it's really, really good. And for the love of God, they're making a third one. Finally, they've been teasing it for I don't know how many years, but they're making it. They're gonna be parents and have kids, and they gotta figure out something about music and rocking on and Wild Stallions and all that stuff. But man, it's a trip. Like I said, it shouldn't be good, but it is good. Because I'm sure that little synopsis of both movies I just gave right there, you're like, Bret, are you high? What are we talking about? I don't understand. You're off your rocker. But trust me, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, watch it. If you like it, give Bogus Journey a try. Both are on Amazon. Rent that shit. I see those stars in the chat. You got Amazon Prime. You got Twitch Prime. You're subbing to your boy. Go over there, buy those movies, rent them, and watch them. Enjoy yourself. How hard is that to spend a Sunday watching some movies that your boy loves for maybe 3 hours? Not that hard. Now, that was probably real quick, me talking about Bill and Ted. So, I'll leave it at that, actually. I won't talk about another movie. All right.